Hello everybody. It is my distinct pleasure to give you a psychological analysis of the Stranding trailer that came out in December of 2017. Let me preface this talk by saying I have never played any game created by Hideo Kojima, unfortunately. I am very sad about that. There are many games that I wish I have played, but this is something that I'm definitely going to get my hands on as soon as I can. There are very few trailers that have ever come out that warrant a psychological analysis, in my opinion, and this is definitely one of them. I will also be reviewing the first trailer that was released, I believe, a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I'm going to do them backwards for multiple reasons that you will hopefully see as we go. So, I don't know how I'm going to get this video out to you, but I'm going to show you, or tell you, where I am watching it so you can go ahead and pull it up with me and we can go together. It is on the PlayStation channel on YouTube, so it's from their main website, their main channel, and it is called the Death Stranding TGA 2017 4K teaser. It is exactly 8 minutes and 13 seconds long, and we are at 0 seconds right now. I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1, here we go. PlayStation logo. And I will be pausing it at various points. Okay, so let's pause it right here. I'm at 11 seconds. So right off the bat, you hear him talking about an explosion. I also want to preface this by saying I know a little bit of information about this game because I read a small excerpt of an interview with Hideo Kojima about the game, so I can comment on that a little bit throughout. But most of this, probably 90%, is just going to be my theories or just thoughts that I have about it and what certain elements might represent and how amazing I think he has done with every single aspect of this game. There is attention to detail in every single corner, every crevice, and I just think it warrants being discussed. Okay, so he's talking about a bang, and I watched a video on this from a good YouTuber. His name is Young Yeah. He's very awesome. He does a lot of Death Stranding videos, and he talked how there were 4 explosions here. We have the first one he talks about, and we think people are hypothesizing, including myself, that he's talking about the Big Bang. Then another explosion, the second explosion, he'll say, we're hypothesizing has to do with stars exploding to help create, galaxies and life, or planets rather. And then the third explosion is the explosion of life, and I forget what that's called in scientific terms, but you can look it up. It's like where the evolutionary tract of life went, from a very stagnant point to rapid expansion. And then he says there was a 4th explosion, and that one is the one none of us have any idea about, which apparently occurs in this game at some point. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, and pausing right here at 22 seconds, you can see these plants and leaves here going through their entire life cycle in a matter of seconds. So in an interview, Hideo Kojima, the creator, said that there's this thing that's called timefall. Instead of rain, it's like timefall. And everything it touches, apparently, it looks like, if it's a living organism, it speeds up the growth process in a matter of seconds. So it's looking like these things are wilting right in front of our eyes, but it has to actually contact your skin or the actual surface of the organism to affect it, because you will see in a second that they are getting raindrops all over them, 2 of the 3 characters, and nothing is happening to them. So they have clothing on that is protecting them from the rain, the timefall. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Beautiful graphics, beautiful colors. So he's hurt. You can see his leg. The music needs to be talked about. How eerie, atmospheric, amazing. He wakes up. See, the rain is not on his face. You see what I mean? It's not touching his actual skin. Okay, so here's my hypothesis. Right now we will pause it in 3, 2, 1 at 53 seconds. I believe that they were driving that vehicle, the three men here, or maybe more men, and something happened, some kind of explosion that knocked them off, and they have fallen. By the way, I have not seen or watched anyone else's videos. Today is like December 18th. I know this came out on December 7th, or 8th. I have not seen or heard anybody's videos on YouTube and analyzing this. So this is all from me, and like I said, the very little bit of the interview that I read. So I believe that they flipped and got, knocked out, and for one reason or another, I have no idea why that might have happened, but you'll see in a second that one of them got trapped underneath it and he's in a lot of pain. But there's also another body, or a couple bodies here, that the main character, Sam, he crawls up to one of them, and you'll have to see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So he's injured, probably from, the crash, or maybe that thing crashed into them, who knows. So he's walking to check on this body. Maybe he was transporting the body, who knows. And I couldn't begin to tell you why it's like a mummy or why it has gold, stuff on it. Okay, and then the second main character over here is going to check on his buddy who has the vehicle on him. Now I'm going to pause it right here at 1:24. You can notice a couple things here. One, that little stamp on his shoulder, on his left shoulder, the main guy, it looks like the United States with a net with like strings going across it. I wonder if that has to do with something that I'm going to discuss in a little bit. I'll keep that in mind. We will also notice the blood. It looks fresh on the bottom left of the screen. So it looks like this really did just happen recently. Also, if you notice on the guy's arm, his wristband on the right, near the top middle of the screen, you will see like an orange glow. So that to me is signaling, I believe that's their health. Kind of similar to Dead Space, how they put the health bar on the spine. I'm thinking that symbolizes their health, their status of health. And I think he's an orange, which is turning, going to turn red eventually, which is bad, right? And you will also notice a black orb on the right side of the screen near the United States badge. That holds a little baby in there. What the black liquid is, I'm not exactly sure. There's a device on the guy who's crouching down on his back, and I believe the baby is absolutely in control of that device, and we will see what it does in a second. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so it was quiet, everything was quiet, and then you heard this thing on his shoulder. Look at it. I paused it at 1:30. It started moving and pinching that light on the guy's shoulder right there, which I think is symbolizing the baby is sensing danger of this dangerous, creature or monster that's coming. And I don't think the way these guys are behaving, are about to behave, I don't think they know what is coming. Like, they know something bad's coming, but I don't think they've interacted with these things very much, if at all. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. They're here, he says. He's trying to help the buddy, and you can see his face. If you look closely right now, his face is changing. He's growing old right in front of us. The rain is hitting his face, and he's growing old. So this guy calls over to Sam, 147, I paused it. He calls over to Sam in like a desperate attempt, like psychologically, right? He's looking to the leader, to the guy who knows the situation. What should we do? So he just calls his name, like Sam, trying to let him know we are in trouble. The thing on my chest is going off. I don't know what it means, but I'm going to call for you to help me. So what do we do? So he calls Sam, and Sam says, what is his response? He says, "Shut up. Don't even breathe." Now, that's a very weird response, right? If you were trying to help your buddy who was getting crushed by a car and you scream his name to help you, like, get over here to help, like, Sam, and he just says, "Shut up, don't even breathe," how would your reaction be? Kind of weird. So, start it. See, this guy doesn't, I let it go for 1 second now, like at 1:49. You can see on his face, he was confused for a second, but then he's like, okay, I have to listen to this guy in order to survive, so I'm going to stop breathing right now. And he covers his mouth, We're going, we're moving, and the other guy does it too. And you can look on his wrist. This guy has a blue wristband, okay? His light is blue, so that makes me believe he's full health, he's ready to go. The other guy does not. The other guy has like an orange, so I think he's very injured. And there's more proof to that theory later. Okay, so we're going to start it again. 3, 2, 1, go. He's looking around. The thing is, he's turning towards... He's crying. There's a tear coming out of his eye. I don't know why. Now, there's footprints on the side of the wall. The thing's invisible. And the light, the little baby robot thing is highlighting the footprints. You see, it's very aware of the creature. And it doesn't... The creature apparently can't use sight to see. It uses hearing. But only certain sounds. Because the baby making these noises is not alarming to the creature, and then it stops. Okay, so I'm pausing it in 3, 2, 1 at 2:23. So he gives him a thumbs up, letting him know the creature is gone. We are safe now. The thing on my back has stopped freaking out. It stopped pinching. It stopped making that noise. So I think the creatures, they move through, they move by way of, or I don't know how they move, but I think they move with a purpose of finding organic life. I think they're looking for things that are alive, that are making noise to, to consume. Why they're doing this, I don't know. But you can tell this because there's rain going around. There's the clacking of the little baby thing, the moving and just the buzzing noise that it's making. And the creature is not reacting to any of those noises at all. But it will react to noise, as you will see very soon. So he gives him a thumbs up, letting him know that everything is okay. And he thinks that they're safe now. And he can get back to work. Because the creature's far enough away that they can't hear. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Pans over to Sam, zooms in on him. He's looking around. He's breathing again. You can hear him breathing if you listen close. He's very injured. His leg is messed up. He's got a thing on his back too, so as if he's ready, everyone's like ready to carry the baby. Yeah, so I think they were transporting these bodies. Okay, strings are coming out of the bodies. And it's getting absorbed. What the gold stuff is, guys, I have no idea. I'm going to go ahead and pause it really quick at 2:54. So, those bodies just got consumed. I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's almost like... Well, okay, I'll kind of give you a theory about it later in a little bit, but it's almost kind of like there's a hive mind on this planet or wherever they are. It's almost like there's a bunch of entities that are kind of one entity, and they can move across the ground by way of this like black liquid. And I think they're kind of connected with the footprints that we saw with the invisible creature. All right, let's continue. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and my headset is totally toast. Darn it. It's doing something weird. I hate when it does this. Oh my gosh, hold on everybody. So this headset sometimes glitches out and it just gives me a bunch of feedback. And in order to fix it, I need to reconnect it. Darn it. I need to reconnect it with my with the transmitter, but in order to do that, it takes a lot of work sometimes because it doesn't always work the way it's supposed to, Okay, so we're powering it off. That's searching, so this should power on and should connect. Yes, parent has that. Okay, that's what we want. All right, let's see if this works. I apologize for that, everybody. Come on, please pair. Alright, we're back in business. Okay, so 2:56 is where we are. So Sam falls down because he's afraid. He sees something. And then the camera pans over to this shadowy creature that you can barely see against the time fall, against the rain. And it's walking towards him. So I think it hears him at this point, okay? I think it's hearing him. That's why it's walking towards him. And it's gonna, take him out. He's backing up. I'm not exactly sure why, if he knows how these things work. So he knows, okay, the thing's getting hot. There's steam coming off him. And then I pause it at 3:11. He covers his mouth because he knows he has to be as quiet as possible. But I have no idea why he was trying to back himself up when maybe he should have just sat down and covered his mouth instantly. I'm not sure. Maybe because when the creatures get too close to you, they burn. I don't know what it is. But something about his leg, maybe it smells his blood, because there's like steam coming off of that leg only. But then, as he's about to probably get taken out, the guy in the back who's getting crushed by the car, who's been, somehow very silent this whole time, by the way, he screams, right? And that alerts the creature. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. And this is where chaos ensues. So the creature's footsteps go away from him. Okay, pause it. You can see the baby's light shining at the footsteps as it's coming over. The baby's light is very aware and very active on where this thing is and has no intention of getting caught by it, right? It wants the wearer, whoever's wearing the baby, to be very careful about these creatures. Okay, it's 3, 2, 1. And then the thing obviously attacks the guy who is there, and the guy backs up, pausing at a 322. He backs up because he knows that guy's getting attacked. He's toast because he made a noise. And now he's realizing that they are surrounded by these invisible beings. There's a lot of them. You can kind of see them against the rain. And the thing is freaking out. The baby's thing is also freaking out, going in all directions, which makes this guy panic. And if you notice, Sam doesn't panic this entire time, which I think is probably a good thing, probably a very smart idea, which keeps him alive. He probably knows you got to be very calm. Okay, we're starting. Yep, we're surrounded. And this is horrifying. They somehow get this guy out of the car. He's yelling, help him. And his wristband is blue while the guy's is red, so I think that symbolizes health, right? He's getting ready to put him out of his misery. They somehow wedge him out of the car and are carrying him away in a horrifying fashion. And I think he says sorry, when he shoots him. And then the baby's thing stops, as if the creatures are gone. Now here's... Oh, there goes my headset again. Come on, don't do it. Oh, and this... Okay, pause at 3:55. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I have no idea. Okay, so there's another trailer. I guess I'll reference it here. Because I'm not going to do an analysis on that one, because I really just don't know enough about anything to do an analysis for that. Maybe I will later. But there's another trailer that came out, and I think that was the second trailer. This is the third one. And the second trailer showed... It was just like a bridge. It was amazing. It was a really good trailer. I should do an analysis probably later. But it showed a bridge, and a man was walking under the bridge in like a sewer. And he was carrying the baby. And then he was entering the sewer, and then the camera like zooms down the sewer to like these invisible soldiers that like come out of nowhere. And in the middle of the soldiers is this guy who kind of looks very similar to this guy. And he was wearing soldier's uniform now, but he does this same motion. He puts his fingers up to his lips, like, you got to be quiet. You got to be very quiet with whatever we're about to do. And then he signals to like look in a certain direction or go forward. And I think Sam's the only one that notices this guy. The other guy's not even looking. The guy with the baby's not even looking over at him right now. It's almost as if he's having a hallucination or something. Sam, I don't know, or maybe this shadowy figure is just trying to only show himself to Sam. I don't know. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. It points to like, look over there, and his little white thing comes up and looks over there. Then the baby's thing starts freaking out, and then the baby, pause it, the baby came out of nowhere. It looked in the same direction that the guy pointed. Neither Sam nor the other guy with the baby look over in that direction, though. They never look where the guy pointed for some reason, or where his thing was pointing. But then the baby's thing looks over at Sam and stares at him, and meanwhile the baby's looking over, to the east of our perspective. Why this is, I don't know, but the baby it almost looks like the baby saw something over there and is like, I'm out of here, I don't want to do this, I'm leaving, get me out of here. It's almost like the baby saw something and was terrified of it. So it curls up, it's like, nope, done with this. And then, so pause it again. The black goo is swallowing the car, the van, I don't know how, the truck. And this guy is absolutely going crazy. And there's like hands coming up, crawling all over him. The baby's thing is looking around everywhere, and he just starts shooting. He starts doing probably the worst thing he could do. Yep, the hands are there. There they are. And he tells Sam to run. He detaches the baby, maybe because he doesn't want the baby to get injured. Not sure why. Sam doesn't say a word. Tears are coming down his face. Why? Okay, pause. Why the dude was standing there, not moving, like just staring at him, I don't know. But maybe because he knew he was toast. There's black liquid everywhere now. The hands are gone. They're not getting the guy anymore, which I just don't understand. I don't know why they were trying to get him, then they stopped. None of this makes sense. Because you would think, oh, they stopped getting him because he let go of the baby, but no. They got the other guy, remember, from under the bus, and he didn't have the baby, so, like, it's... I don't know why they stopped. It's almost like it's so random. But then they do something else happens to him. He gets flipped upside down. He's hanging there, upside down by an unknown force. Who knows how or why, and why Sam is not getting hung upside down. Maybe because they haven't hurt him, so they can't sense him. I don't know. Oh god, my headset's doing it again. Gosh, I'm gonna try this one more time. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. Come on. Alright, parent headset. Just activate, please. Oh, it didn't activate it. God. Oh, this makes me want to just get a new headset. It's so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. So I'll try to keep going while I'm fixing my headset. Basically, he gets hung upside down by some unknown force, and the hand, like the little machine that was there, you know, freaking out with the baby with the light, it looks like it's dead. To me, it looks like it's deactivated. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is not working. It looks like it's deactivated. It's just hanging. You'll notice it's just hanging down, laying in the water kind of as he's getting pulled up in the air. And it's just not moving. Like, it's as if that thing is completely inoperable without the baby. The baby is like one with that little machine. Whatever that thing is, the baby controls it altogether. And it has the ability, apparently, just to sense those things. I don't know if that's the only thing it does, or what, but, yeah, so, okay, let's see. It's pairing the headset. And this guy's, yeah, he's getting pulled up, and you'll notice a lot of things are getting pulled up, not just him, okay? And it ends up being... I think a lot of like crabs too. Let's see. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 4:33, and the music comes in so eerie. I love it. So he's getting pulled up. The thing is dead, like hanging down. You see a bunch of rocks. He's trying to get his gun, but he can't. There's bodies that are getting pulled up. So rocks, inanimate objects are getting pulled up too. Okay, pause it. He starts stabbing himself. Okay, pause it at 4:49. Because he knows he's going to die. I think so. Maybe he has seen this before. Maybe he's not as naive as I thought he was. Maybe he has seen something like this before. He knows it's over. So his best bet is to, you know, kill himself quick because he doesn't want to experience whatever's coming next. However, that being said, you can also notice his wristband right there at 4:49 when it's paused. He is blue. It is blue. And then he starts to stab himself. And it goes, color changes very quickly, but I'm pretty sure I see it go to like green, then yellow, then orange, then red as he stabs himself multiple times. So I think as he does it, you can see the health bar dropping. Tell me if you guys agree. Let's see if it does that. Yep, that's what that looked like to me. Okay, my headset is just messing up. I hate this thing. Yeah, absolutely hate it. So I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit here. So he picks up the thing, and the moment he picks it up, you can see the baby activates the hand, and he holds it to his chest. Pause it, I'm pausing it. At 5:17. He's holding the baby, when he holds it to his chest, the moment it gets near him, it activates little thing on his back, and then that thing starts sensing, the terrible creatures, whatever they are, and it activates and it points right at this big thing, right? Which is like what I was saying is like the hive mind. How it's pulling up all the rocks and everything, I don't know, because I thought it would just sense organic things and just pull that up, but it's pulling up a lot of things. Why it's not pulling up him, I just don't know, guys. Or it's not pulling up the liquid as well. Who knows? So he looks at it, not making a noise, just terrified, but he's holding the baby, and the baby's like curling up like it's trying to be close when it wants to be protected. And you can see that this creature, this big giant, has these big strings coming out of his hands that look like they're connected to everything. So I don't know if this is something, I want to say this is something that just happens once, but it might happen quite often. I don't know in the game. It's one of my big theories about this game is that everything is connected, and it's kind of like the universe, where the universe is made up of waves and particles, but like particles are just condensed waves. When waves happen to vibrate in certain ways, it forms a particle. So I think Death Stranding has to do with strings, a lot of strings, like things connecting where you experience different states, and everything is all connected. So let's continue here. 5:17, go. So he looks up in awe at this thing, and okay, let me pause. The music, the sounds are terrifying. The head of the creature doesn't even look like any kind of face. It just has an opening almost, as if it's just consuming. Yeah. For some reason, once it gets the guy, like one human, it explodes. It's almost like that's all it needs for nourishment, which is very interesting. But then it explodes here. You're going to see an explosion, which I have no idea why. Not even gonna. So it consumes the guy. The head explodes, and then it cuts to white. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna save that for the next analysis. I do have a theory on why those big creatures exist and why it has to eat the thing and explodes. Okay, so this next thing is, I believe, where Kojima said in the interview that this is where you go when you die. So when you go down here, you will die. You will go to this underwater world, and apparently, I think he said it's going to be first person. And you will notice right here at 5:38, I'm going to start it, 3, 2, 1. You will see him floating down, and the music, and on his chest, you will see a mark appear, okay? So I believe that these marks will show up on your body every time you die, and you will continue to get scars and marks as you die throughout the game. So you will keep transported here with the string still attached, like it's still, okay, pause it at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, at 6 minutes. You can see the strings still connected, in my opinion, to the other world. So I believe instead of this being kind of like an ocean, it's more like two sides to the same coin. So underwater, I think, is just like this other world, like the death realm, the limbo realm, and then those strings connected to the real realm. So if you were to go and surface on top of the water and swim to the top, you would just be back in the real world. I don't think it would be like being above water. I think it would literally transport you back. It would be another dimension. This is like a different dimension, in my opinion. He said you also collect things when you're down here. You can collect things you've lost underwater. So I'm thinking this is going to be like a mini game type thing. When you die, you have to go swim around, and maybe these strings that you see are maybe checkpoints, maybe different times different times you die, different places in the world that you died. These strings will come down maybe through the water. Because you'll see here, as I'll start it up at 6, go, 6 minutes. Oh, by the way, you'll see a creature come, and just swallow this body, and it's terrifying the way it does it so swiftly. I have no idea what it is, but it's also eating bodies too. So the string comes down, and you can see fish, looks like an ocean, and then it's connected to him, to Sam, but you will see he has a dream catcher. There's a door with the same symbol on the guy's thing, and the dream catcher he had it on his person. You'll see it later. So I think you have to go around. You will wake up down here, collect your stuff, and maybe climb up the string and go back to the other reality. So the camera zooms in here, and you see the baby. You literally see the baby down his throat. Pause it just with the baby at 6:40. I think this is more of a Well, it's actually symbolic and it's physical too, because you will see in the other trailer he has cuts on his stomach as if he had a baby put inside him. I think it's, showing that is true, that it is both inside of him, but on the outside when he's carrying the baby, I think it's also trying to symbolize this part is symbolizing when he's carrying the baby, the closeness of the relationship, of the connectedness that he has with the baby while they're together. That's also what I think it symbolizes, as opposed to just the physical aspect of him having the child, which is very odd indeed. So, camera zooms out, and he wakes up. He's just like on some beach or on the ground, on the rocks, whatever. He's not feeling well at all. You can tell he's like sick by his facial expressions, and he throws up some black liquid with little black bugs that just proceed to crawl. Okay, pause it at 7. That just crawl up the screen. That just crawl up the world. Just crawl up nothingness. So I think that also reinforces the fact that I believe like this whole world kind of is made up of strings, and as you move through these strings, that's where the events happen, right? And these bugs have the ability to climb up and down these strings. So maybe they could go to the underworld, right, if they wanted. I have no clue. Okay, go. So he's looking around. He's like, I don't know what's going on. The baby thing is here. He's looking at it. He has a dream catcher there. You see it on his hip. So I think after you collect all your stuff, you come up here. And then he looks around. Why he has a tear come down his face, I have no idea. The graphics are incredible. And then the music cuts in as the camera pans back with the 5 terrifying creatures in the distance. So let's pause it right there at 7:30 with the awesome music. You can see the strings that are connecting everything, the 2 dimensions in my opinion. And you'll notice if you look at the 5 creatures, I believe, or shadows, whatever you want to call them, the beings, I believe that the one in the middle is actually different. I believe it is bigger than the rest of them, and it is also standing in a different formation. It almost looks like it's not even a creature. It almost looks like it's a pillar, and then there's 4 creatures. But I think there's 5. I think the one in the middle is the leader. So you can see the other ones, they look almost as if they're standing completely still with their arms kind of by their side, but a little bit at an angle. And then the one in the middle looks like his arms are just crossed, and he's just standing completely still. There is a reason as to what I think they are. Not in the game. I have not the slightest clue for what they are in the game, but I'm talking about the psychological depths of Hideo Kojima's mind. And I will have to go ahead and end this video here at the end of this and give you a preview into the next one. I'm going to go back and watch the first trailer, okay? The one that was released the first time where he's on a beach and he wakes up. And that's all you see pretty much the entire time. And I'm going to now analyze that trailer with much more emphasis on his actual motives for making the game as opposed to trying to hypothesize what the actual game is, because I have no clue, to be honest. So let's continue and just end this trailer. So 7:30, the music, the fading is so beautiful, it's eerie. And then he mentions, the explosions again. Incredible. I love it. Alright everybody, hope you enjoyed this psychological analysis of the Death Stranding trailer. And at the very end, I love the way the logo goes. I pause it at 8:06. The logo, the way it moves and how he adds his voice, it says, "Oh yeah." It's so good. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, logos of any company, ever. I love how it's an animated logo. It moves and there's a sound to it. That is 2 sounds to it. Not only it makes a sound when it moves, he has his voice over it too. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, that would mean a lot to me. But so yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you go ahead and check out my next video, which is going to be on the first trailer that came out about a year ago. Okay, I am Mr. Infinity, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.